Hey everyone, welcome back to the Geek Takeover. It is your boy, the Geek Takeover. Now, today's video, I'm going to be bringing you guys my 5 personal favorite live-action DC shows. Do not let the shirt confuse you. This is a DC episode, one of, I think, my very few. A lot of these series have really stood out to me based off the characters, the performances, and just how much they shaped my love for the genre. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and roll the intro and get right into it, guys. Coming in with number 5, The Flash. Grant Gustin is not just Barry Allen. He is the embodiment of Barry freaking Allen. The emotional weight that this show brought over the years was top tier. It was next level. It's really hard to see somebody else play this character of Barry Allen. I'm looking at you, Ezra. I'm sorry, bro. You're not him. And let's be real. Tom Cavanaugh as Reverse Flash is easily one of the best DC villains that we've ever seen, and I am including the live action movies. I mean, Tom, he's so goated with it that they had him here the entire series. And sure, maybe he wasn't technically Reverse Flash. He was just Eobard used the face of Harrison Wells. Whatever. Tom played him, and he nailed it. It's going to be really hard for James Gunn to find somebody to portray Eobard Thawne and Barry Allen in the DCU, because these guys set the bar all the way up there. And speaking of villains, how can we not talk about one of the other greatest villains that they've ever introduced, Zoom, voiced by, why is his name blanking? Death, Venom, Tony Todd. There it is. I'll rest in peace, but what a menacing character with a menacing voice. You guys could not have nailed something like that any better. The terrifying presence, the amazing arc of season 1, season 2. Sure, the show had its ups and downs like a lot of shows, but when it hit emotionally, it really hit. Like the father and son relationship that John Wesley Snip and Grant Gustin had, it hits kind of close to home. My dad's passed away, so whenever I see a father-son relationship, it kind of hits a little closer to me because it always makes me wonder if that could have been our relationship. So with all that being said, that does put The Flash at number 5.
I am The Flash.
Next up is The Penguin, coming in at number 4. This was the Batman content that fans were begging and craving and starving for from Matt Reeves. Colin Farrell, Christian Milioti, they completely stole the show with their breakout performances. They absolutely nailed the heart of what the Penguin essence is. Speaking of that, you can't forget about Colin's relationship as Oz, and then Renzi's as Vic. They brought a huge deal and brought a truth to what it's like to live in Gotham as a resident from their POV. Vic really was just somebody that got caught in the misfire. He didn't have anywhere else to go. His life led him to this, and because of that, he became Oz's right-hand man all the way until the end, where Oz killed him basically in cold blood. This show was so grounded and gritty that it doesn't even feel like a DC project. It feels like something ripped out of The Sopranos. It feels like True Detective. It feels gritty and grounded, and it's unforgettable. And speaking of unforgettable, it's Emmy Award season. I'm posting this the day of the Emmys, and as of right now, when they did the pre-show Emmys, The Penguin is an 8 award-winning show. How many more are they going to tally up tonight? But Penguin's just number 4. That show is phenomenal.
I mean, that's the thing about family. Oz, it's your strength. Oz, it drives you. Fuck if it don't make you weak.
Coming in at number 3, Peacemaker. No. I'm not going to touch on anything to do with season 2 right now. I am saving any of my Peacemaker Season 2 talk for a recap once that season is over. So right now, I am strictly talking Peacemaker Season 1. James Gunn, he really brought the best out of John Cena. I thought that Fast and Furious was going to be John Cena's big break. It was going to either make or break him as an actor. I could not have been so far wrong. James Gunn giving him the role of Peacemaker really brought a bravado, a new life into John Cena's acting career. Not saying he was bad before, but this really put him on the map. He really elevated him to the point of Batista's the best actor turned wrestler, Cena, Rock. I think John Cena is taking that next level step, and honestly, with Dave now being done with Guardians, who knows what he's going to do, John may take that number 1 spot from him. Give him a couple more movies. I'm just saying. Now, speaking of the castmates and James Gunn, he also had casted his wife, Jennifer Holland, in as Harcourt. Now, doing this, to some people, it could look a little biased. It could look a little, I'm giving my wife the roles. But she took that role and she fucking ate it up, man. She showed that she is more than just the boss's wife. She is a badass, well-rounded female character, and oh my god, I would be so terrified to walk into a bar with her. She seems like she's probably a sweetheart in real life, but oh my goodness. And talking about side characters, you cannot forget about their take on Adrian Chase as Vigilante, completely different than the Arrowverse one, and yet being fucking hilarious. And Eagly as well. I mean, he's a bird, so there's not much you can talk about him, but those two are like the greatest comedic reliefs. And this season with Gingerbeard, dude, this show just has me laughing my ass off. I don't agree that it's the greatest thing since sliced bread as far as a superhero show goes, but it's definitely up there. And give it a couple more seasons, hell, it may break number 2 or number 1. That's a hot take. It may.
You're late, you fucking dickheads.
Now, getting into our top 2, ladies and gentlemen. These ones are really tough. They could be interchangeable any day of the week, but number 1 just holds such a special place in my heart that number 2 just has to be there. Superman and Lois. Until the new Superman movie dropped earlier this year, I personally thought, and I still kind of think, that Tyler Hoechlin was the best live-action Superman, the best live-action Clark Kent, and had the best costume, given that he started on a TV show. I mean, come on. He was just such a person to love. You can't hate him. His portrayal of Clark, especially being able to see Clark in a bigger role, because you don't really see that a lot in Superman content because it's mainly Superman. It's undeniable. And talking about undeniable, Elizabeth Tulloch. She gave us one of the best Lois Lanes, and honestly, I think I am still going to give her the best Lois Lane. Rachel Bosman could definitely take that role. I'm not even going to talk about Amy Adams. No, Mick Adams. I'm not going to talk about the Man of Steel Lois Lane, but Elizabeth, she killed it. I never watched the last season of Superman and Lois Lane, but I do know that she does pass away at the end of it. I've seen the final scene. She brings such a life to it. She is like that mom that you want to, whenever you go to your friend's house, just like, man, screw my friend, come here, mama, and give her just a big old hug. She seems like the light of the room. And this series also gave us something that we really haven't seen in live action, and that is Clark's sons. And it did a different take on it, because normally in the comics and in the animated series, John is the one who gets powers, I believe becomes Superboy. A DC fan can be more than welcome to correct me if I'm wrong there. But in this case, Jonathan Dark really stood out because he didn't get powers until there was 5 seasons, so I think he got it in season 4. I think, maybe even halfway through season 4, so he barely had superpowers. So he had to live a completely different lifestyle than his brother and his father, and he kind of had to sit on the sidelines. And it also showed that because his brother Jordan, I think was the other one's name, had powers, he was spending a lot more time with Dad and taking up a lot more of the attention that John should have gotten. So this show did all of that in 5 seasons and became one of the best Superman content I think we've ever seen. And it also just goes to show how amazing Superman really is as a character. You know, this guy, Tyler, brought a new life to it. I love Henry. I think Tyler is what put Superman back on the map after Man of Steel.
There you go, friend.
Thanks. Cool costume.
Thanks. My mom made it for me.
Now, finally, for number 1. This one holds a special place in my heart, ladies and gentlemen. Arrow. This show came out around the same time as the Avengers, and I remember watching the first commercial for it. I was happy crossing through my living room, and I see on the TV this commercial. I sit there, I watch it, and I'm like, this show looks cool. I'm gonna watch it. And from the jump, I was hooked. Between the Avengers and Arrow, that really brought me into superheroes are my life. This is the stuff I want to watch. This is what I want to keep going on and learning more about. So for that reason alone, Arrow will always be my personal favorite DC show. Green Arrow is also always going to be one of my personal favorite DC superheroes, even though the comics and the show version are drastically different because they wanted to do a Batman-esque character, but they could not do Batman. Plus, on top of that, I also met Stephen Amell at MegaCon in 2023, and he was a super nice guy. He even noticed that I was recording, because you can see in the video that I'm going to be playing, he's staring at it. He didn't say a damn word, and I don't know if that's because he just didn't care or what. Plus, he also dapped me up, because when he signed my Funko Pop, he signed it to Steven, and he's like, that's a badass name. So shout out to the Stevens of the world. Sure, he's had some questionable takes online, especially last year with the writer's strike. But I gotta cut the guy some slack. Because, like I said, I met him. He's a great guy in person. He just said some bad things. Now, we also cannot forget talking about Arrow, that they also gave, just like with The Flash, they gave us some of the best live-action DC villains as well. With, I think, the best live-action version of Deathstroke, Prometheus, Malcolm Merlin was pretty good in the beginning. They had almost banger after banger after banger of villains with a couple misses. That's all I'm going to say about that. Plus, it really sparked the Arrowverse, which shaped DC television for years. It was essentially, it literally is the Iron Man of DC. DC television. Let me get that right before I get my neck snatched. Plus, also fun fact for everybody, his sister, Imiko, is also the name of my dog, who is sleeping right here. So that's also a fun fact for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Do this, I must become someone else. I must become something else.
So those are my top 5 DC live action shows. Each of them brought something unique to the table and hooked me in their own respective ways. But now I want to hear from you guys. What is your favorite live action DC shows and why? Drop it in the comments, hit that like button. If you enjoyed the breakdown, subscribe for more superhero content coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, Geek Takeover, signing off.
Down, stop production.